growing up in British schools. Like, damn.
Lifetime in repeat.
What's going on, guys? Forever Young Josh here, and today I thought we'd talk about growing up in British schools. Like, it's such a unique experience to compare to what I've heard it's like in America and stuff. We do things sometimes crazily, sometimes weirdly, and always madly. I guess the first point you're going to notice if you go to a British school is when you do PE, like physical education, sports. If you forget your kit in any normal place, they say, okay, you can't do it. In these schools, they make you go to the dirtiest bins ever. Like, there'll just be like a little bin with all like lost property clothing in that hasn't been washed, shorts that haven't been washed, t-shirts that are like the uniform set from like millions of years ago for the school. And they're like, okay, you have to put that on and still do the PE. And you're like, okay, but I don't know what is hiding inside these clothes. I don't really want to know. I don't want to know when they last been washed because I know damn sure it isn't up to my standard. But anyway, you have to do PE and you're running around smelling like literally a rotten asshole. And you're just literally stinking out the whole like room, hall. Even if you're on a field, that every bug is coming near you. You're like, zzz, you know, like covered in flies, and it's just not a good time. The second point I would say is more or less food tech. I remember when I did food tech, maybe 3 years ago, it would become compulsory to do. So it was like this new thing in our school, and we could do food tech. And it was like, great, okay, we get to cook and actually get a grade just for making food. Until you find out that it's not really like that. Literally, we would have one lesson where the teacher just cooks it and eats it in front of us, right? And it's kind of teasing. Like, we cooked cookies on the first time we did food tech. I love cookies. I love sweet stuff. So to see how the cookies are made and you're all hungry, and then someone is literally just eating them in front of you, telling how good it is, it's like torture for the kids. And the food tech teacher's loving it. You know, she's putting on a couple pounds and that, and we're like sweating the pounds off, like literally watering up the mouth, wanting to like have these cookies, and it's crazy. Third point I'd say is probably the tests. The amount of tests in a British school is too much. We have tests every year, which is fine because once a year test is fine. They invented something called a mock test. A mock test is like a fake test to see if you're on track. Not done, you know, every half term. It's done like every couple of weeks, right? So you'll learn something, and then the next day you're tested on it, and it's like, okay, right, well, I don't have a photographic memory, so that's me screwed. And it's like crazy and just hopeless, you know, test after test after test. Then you get to the actual test and you're like, oh, take me home. It's crazy. I guess number 4 would have to be the after school clubs. Like, they are so cringe. They try to make it so cool for the kids and they just fail epically. Like, the football club is awesome. Like, I play football outside of school. I used to anyway. I play football outside of school or sports or anything like that. And they make it so cringe, like, oh, we're so competitive, but everyone wins. And it's like, no, it's football. You know, you have two sides. One person doesn't win. And it's like, oh god, and that leads us on to sports day as well. Sports day was great, right? If you like sports. If you didn't like sports, it's probably the worst day. Good job I did like running and that. But you'd go for one event. You'd be selected for one event. But made to sit there the whole day and watch the other events, I have no problem supporting my friends, guys. To a limit. I'm there for 8 hours. And the only time I'm moving in that is about a 4-5 minute race. The rest of the time I'm eating 8 hours. So it's a day that promotes physical activity in which I spent 7 hours sitting down and chewing on chocolate bars because I literally had nothing else to do except watch the races and eat food and crap. And it's like, okay, there goes that. Guys, I know number 5 is not for every school, but it's like head of sixth form, head of teachers. Whilst they're cool and all that, they try to be either too cool or they're just freaking angry always. Like, oh man, we had some of our fair share of crazy teachers, right? I can't name any names because I'd like to stay doing YouTube, but we had some crazy teachers. We had some weird teachers, crazy teachers, and we also had some teachers that were just way too strict, and I don't think like kids at all. I feel so sorry if they have kids or grandkids because, oh my god, that is one person's house you don't want to visit. it's just like every little thing, you know. Oh, if you grow your hair too long, it's gonna make you be off put. You know, if you don't go to these after school clubs, if you don't go to this football club, English is gonna go down. And it's like, okay, so where did you draw that comparison one from? Wanna let me know anytime soon? Crazy, guys. I guess the last point would have to be history class. Anyway, for my history class, we literally used to spend in like GCSE and like in normal lessons, one lesson learning content. We'd then spend the rest of the time watching a movie. Like for us, literally, we learned about the period of around the Titanic. We did like 2 lessons theory, then we just watched the Titanic for like the rest of the term. And he would like keep rewinding it, not forgetting where we started, so we'd just end up watching the same basically half-an-hour clip each time. And it was like, okay, we basically know it off by heart now, thanks, but it's not gonna help us on exam. It was crazy, guys. Anyway, guys, I'd love to see some videos like what it was like to grow up in American schools. You know, any place you're from, if you go to school, I want to hear it, because it's like, it's kind of interesting to see like all these crazy quirks and weird teachers and just random and things that don't work and they do. It'd be awesome to see if it's like what ones are around the world. Anyway, that's the UK. I'm sure there's more, there is more, but it's just a short video. I don't want to be rambling on too long. But yeah, I hope all you guys are doing well in exams. I've got exams coming up like next week. As of next week, Wednesday, I'm free and literally my summer begins. I hope you like the new setup. Basically what it is, it's not even a camera anymore. It's a camera. It's an iPhone 7 Plus, so I got the new phone and the camera quality is crazy. I've got my place to record with a nice little background here, you know, cheese. And yeah, I hope you like it, guys. And this will be out on Sunday, I hope. And if you leave comments what you thought was the most craziest thing at high school or primary school for British, growing up in British schools, or even in your country, let's hear it. Okay, I'll see you guys next week. Peace, guys.